Very few criminal prosecutions in New York have likely drawn as much public criticism from a foreign leader as that of Reza Zarrab, a Turkish-Iranian gold trader who was charged along with 8 other defendants with conspiring to evade the United States sanctions on Iran. Turkey's President, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, has called the charges a plot against the Turkish Republic, and raised the issue in a phone call with President Trump in September. Turkey's foreign minister claimed that the prosecution's evidence was concocted by Gülenists, a movement led by an Islamic cleric living in exile in Pennsylvania. The movement has been banned in Turkey as a terrorist group and blamed by Mr. Erdogan for the failed Turkish coup in 2016. On Saturday, Turkey opened an investigation of Preet Bharara, the former United States attorney in Manhattan whose office filed the original charges, and of his successor, June H. Kim, who is overseeing a trial in the case that starts next week. On Tuesday, Mr. Kim and the judge, Richard M. Behrman, took the unusual step of responding publicly to the Turkish officials' criticism. Mr. Kim, the acting United States attorney, said he was aware of claims that the prosecution was being driven by domestic Turkish politics and that his office, the Justice Department and the court had been infiltrated by Gülenists. Needless to say, it's our view that those claims are ridiculous on their face, Mr. Kim said. He added, it displays a fundamental misunderstanding or lack of understanding of how our system of justice works and, frankly, the rule of law works. Mr. Kim, who responded to a question about the Turkish criticism at an unrelated news conference, said the career prosecutors, FBI agents and investigators handling the case were driven by nothing other than following the law and the evidence. They're not driven by Turkish domestic politics. They're not Gülenists, he said. Since Mr. Zarrab was arrested in March 2016 during a family trip to Disney World, the case has strained relations between Turkey and the United States. Mr. Kim's office had charged that Mr. Zarrab helped to facilitate millions of dollars in transactions on behalf of Iran and other sanctioned entities through the use of false documentation and front companies. High-ranking Turkish and Iranian government officials participated in the scheme, with some officials taking bribes, an indictment charged in September. Mr. Zarrab, 34, and Mehmet Hakan Atilla, 47, a Turkish banker, are the only 2 defendants known to be in custody in New York. Both were scheduled for trial this month, but things may have changed. Mr. Zarrab's lawyers stopped filing motions this fall and he stopped appearing in court. A Bureau of Prisons website listed him as released, and Mr. Kim's office would say only that he was still in federal custody. News reports suggested that Mr. Zarrab had agreed to plead guilty and said that he is cooperating with the federal investigation. A lawyer's statement at a court hearing on Tuesday seemed to bolster the theory that Mr. Zarrab could end up as a government witness in the trial. If so, the sole defendant would be Mr.